Welcome back to another Fire Princess Reviews. I'm Fire Princess Lily, here to talk to you about comics, cartoons, and other awesome nerd shit. So, this week, or at least this video, we're talking about Craig of the Creek, a new Cartoon Network cartoon that premiered in January and has been pretty much a good success for the channel, or at least in the ratings departments and the amount that they're showing it over other series. It's important to mention that because for the past 3 weeks, it's actually been in the number 3 spot for the most shown show on Cartoon Network. And when you consider that for the past couple of years, it's been 55% Teen Titans Go on that channel, it's a big deal. In fact, just this year, or just towards the end of last year, they did like 3 full weeks of nothing but Teen Titans Go. So it's nice to see them branching out into other shows. Teen Titans Go is going to stop making episodes once the Teen Titans Go movie comes out, so maybe that's part of it. But I appreciate it anyway. In fact, the top 3 shows this week being shown are Gumball, Teen Titans Go, and what we're talking about today, Craig of the Creek. Now, if you have been watching the channel for a while, you might remember that I did suggest this to everybody as a thing that's coming up, the thing that you should be checking out. When I first originally saw the pilot, I explained that it was just a really charming cartoon, and that still holds true to this very moment when I'm recording this and when I'm talking about it. And so far, none of the creators are in trouble for any kind of weird things. Loud house. So there you have that. That's good. So let's talk about the show. Let's talk about how good it is. It follows 3 kids in particular: Craig, Kelsey, and JP. They are 3 friends who go on adventures every day at the creek. The creek is a suburban area where a little water path flows through a creek. And in that area, in that greenway, there are different factions of kids. Like you have your junior rangers, you have your girls who play and act like horses, you have paintballers, you have the anime ninja kids. It's really neat, and it's got a lot of different clicks and setups, and it just really works really well together when all these different personalities are coming in contact with one another for whatever reason. Now, the creators are Ben Levin and Matt Burnett, which those names might sound familiar to you, they might not. I first knew about these 2 people, and I really had to look this up, but because the name sounded familiar to me, but I first knew about them back in late 2000s, we're talking that way, 2010, 2011, with a animated short called "I'm in Your Manger, Killing Your Savior," which is really, really bad net speak. It was a short about 3 friends, Matt, Barry, and Larry, if I'm not mistaken, Matt, who are a part of the nativity scene as the wise men. And they come in and they turn it into the LARP session from hell. It's like, "Sir Baby Jesus, I bestow upon you this myrrh, Curial Shield of Lightning Defense." It's great. It's hilarious. They get into a fight with other LARPers. They had a few shorts about these 3 friends, and they're all really great. There's one about them being taken in by the FBI for net piracy, when that was a really big thing that you could be super punished for at any given notice and any time of the day. The FBI agents were like, "What's this?" And he's like, "It's a JPEG from Google." It's the humor in it was really great. And it's good to see that their sense of humor really has evolved, but still isn't that same strain of comedy. It's a little dry, but a little fast-paced, and it's good. It really works for this show, for the things that they do. Their art style has also, changed over the years. But there are 2 reasons I'm bringing up these internet shorts. 1, to give you kind of a base of where they started, and 2, because those three characters actually show up in Craig of the Creek in a few episodes as the elders. They're basically high school kids that are really too old to be playing at the creek, but they do anyway because they're nerds and outcasts, and that's where they feel the best or the safest, I suppose, to be nerds. And the kids look up to them and actually go to them for guidance and wisdom about creek-related things, like the game of tag that's been going on forever at the creek, and who started it, and how can you finish a game of tag. And of course, they're completely useless in answering those questions, but it's hilarious, and it's really, really great. So I do enjoy that they've continued on the spirit of those characters in a new medium. Sort of how Ian Joan Corsi continued on Hero's story in OKKO for one episode and gave us some resolution for that webcomic he did. Thank you. That's a totally different show. But Craig of the Creek, it's charming. It is a super charming cartoon. It's never too in your face about anything. It does have some good messages and some things to deal with, like dealing with loneliness, dealing with when has animal freedom, I suppose, gone too far. Like, where do you draw your line? Being separated from a friend after a long time, like, and the feelings and the complicated feelings that come with, maybe never seeing a person that's important to you ever again. And I think that's really neat that they're doing that in these 10-minute cartoons. They're 10 minutes long. And they're doing it so well and in such a light way that it's never quite heavy-handed or hard over your head, more or less. So that's really great. The character designs are really cute. I think Kelsey is my favorite character. She's a 10-year-old girl, and she walks around with a cape and a boffer sword, and she's always narrating in her head about like the grand adventure they're about to have and how it affects her, Kelsey, the obvious main character of the story. And at her side, or at least on her head at all times, is her pet parakeet, Mortimer. Or Mortimer the 23rd or 32nd. One of those two backwards. Apparently she's had a lot of birds named Mortimer, but this is the one that gets her and travels with her everywhere. As mentioned, the creek has a ton of different factions of kids, and Craig and his friends run into basically all of them in various episodes, for one reason or another. Like, there's the sewer kids, and in the pilot, they actually run into the sewer kids because, they're trespassing in the sewers or whatever. But they make friends with the sewer kids, and in a later episode, they actually come back and do more stuff with the sewer kids. It actually carries over, and it's nice. It's just good continuity. So the stories have continuity, but at the same time, they're kind of contained within their own little 10-minute short. Well, it's not as short, because cartoons, for whatever reason, are 10 minutes long these days. It's a lot easier to do, I suppose, a bunch of short 10-minute episodes, and then rather than do a whole 30-minute thing. That's why we have 30-minute specials now, instead of, an hour. Craig is more or less, we're just jumping right back into it. Craig's more or less the leader of the three. He's always kind of deciding what to do, but he does defer to his friends and, figure out what they want to do as well. Like, there's a whole episode about choosing and having an opinion and, making decisions. And it's done in a really interesting and kind of weird way involving a dog. It's great. I really loved every episode. There's currently 15 episodes. I think they release more every Monday or so. I don't know. I really don't know what their update schedule is like, but you can definitely check it out, probably on the Cartoon Network app if you have On Demand, or any one of those websites where you might watch something less than legally. So that's it. That's my review of Craig of the Creek. It's good. 8 out of 10 stars. I don't know what it could be doing better to give that 10, but while it is charming, I don't know. It's charming. It's really great. And I don't know what I could do to be better, but I'm giving it an 8 out of 10 anyway, because that's just how I feel about it. What will we be talking about next video? I don't know. I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants these days. I will figure it out before we get there, and there will be a video when there's supposed to be a video. Sorry that this one's late. We did have a little bit of problems here at work with people. The schedule is just weird. So, hopefully we'll get back on track, but expect another video this week. Anyway, I'm Fire Princess Lily. This has been Fire Princess Reviews, and until the next video, love comics, love cartoons, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye!